We're Howard and Caitlin Newstate of the Newstate Nomads. We've been full-time for just over 2 years in our 2019 Winnebago Navion 24D.
We're so excited because the Winnebago team invited us to come get a first-hand look at the all-new 2022 Journey. We're checking out the 34N with John Bonczyk from the Winnebago team.
Yeah, he's one of the masterminds behind this. Hey, John.
Hey, Caitlin, Howard, nice to meet you.
You too.
I look forward to going through the journey with you and show you what it's all about.
We can't wait. So, John, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Winnebago?
My first career was in automotive, 33 and a half years, and I retired, but I needed something exciting to do. So just over 3.5 years ago, I joined Winnebago. I started out running the engineering team for the motorized division, and in January I moved to product management. I'm the director of our Class A's.
That's so interesting. And so it's part of a bigger team, right? I mean, this is a team effort to come up with the Journey.
Certainly, we did a lot. This was a ground up new design. So I had some ideas coming from my previous background, but certainly had to listen to all that history and experience from the team I had and the team at Winnebago.
Well, I can't wait to see your work. Should we take a look on the inside?
Let's go.
Okay. So beautiful.
Wow.
One of the first things that you see when you walk in is just how elegant and residential that this actually feels. Can you tell us a little bit about the process in the aesthetic here?
That was key. This is one of the products where we really wanted to try and deviate from traditional RV look for a Class A. It doesn't look like a cottage. It doesn't look traditional. And so early in my beginning at Winnebago, one of my jobs was to find somebody else to lead our interior design. And I was able to recruit Kim Mann from the West Coast to come over. She had done $1 million houses for years and worked commercial interior as well. Gives you an idea of what she's done for us in terms of changing our styling. And the point is, if you wouldn't put it in your home, why would you put it in your RV? So
Right.
We've spent a lot of time taking a look and trying to make it look less like an RV, if that makes sense.
It does, absolutely, and I think that that is definitely shown here and something that us as RV owners have been asking for a long time, so it's nice to see Winnebago listening and making those changes.
Yeah, it truly makes a home on wheels,
Yes,
right? I mean,
yes.
it feels residential in every respect. The cabinets, the finishes, those small details that make it feel more home-like as opposed to an RV.
Yeah. So I can point out a few things, and some of this we went to an Italian designer to give us some ideas too. This is a designer that does work for Chris Craft. If you look at the slide outs, we tried to hide the fact that it's a slide out. Typically, you've got wood trim coming across the top and then it comes down the bottom and it frames the slide out. So you can see here we've got a different soft feel pillar here, and it allows the slide out to blend in to the interior. It's less noticeable.
I noticed it also with the roof as well. Like it ducks in almost like a soffit, which is an interesting effect.
Yeah,
as well.
so if you think of a crown molding, we wanted to change the aesthetics of the ceiling. In your home, you don't have big colorful things on the ceiling, so this interior is intended to be a white ceiling with the necessary lighting, but this is kind of like a crown molding. It adds that detail and again gets us away from that RV kind of feel. And there was a lot of work, to joint the ceiling and have it match this feature. So you can see the lines are carried across, and that's that kind of finish.
Right, it's very sleek
Yeah,
and
yeah.
elegant looking.
And it makes it feel taller, right?
Yeah.
Subconsciously. And then on this 34, we had to make sure it looked big. So you can see there's a sight line going all the way down, all the way to the rear. So when you step on, it just looks big. It looks inviting, So Kim taught us a lot of this as we were going through. The other thing is on these, I guess what you're missing is the soffits that cover the blinds and everything.
Oh yeah.
They're missing, and that irritated me. Some of the styling and everything of those. They have fabric on them. They're a lot of wood, and they obscure the vision out the windows.
They do. You're right.
So what we did is we have a garage in the back, so the blinds are still here. Okay. and they're parked in this garage in the back, and it doesn't really deteriorate the amount of storage, right? But we get 3 advantages. We get rid of those soffits and all that, let's say, RV-ish looking interior. And we can open up the window. So if you notice here, the windows look very large, but it also allows us to bring the cabinets down a little bit too. So we take that space that was taken up from that feature, hiding the blinds, get it up in the back of the cabinet, and then we take advantage of it, both in the cabinet and in the windows.
That's genius. Wow. I love that. And it's something, right, you're just looking at it and you don't even realize that it's tucked away back there. So smart.
Yeah, and again, there's things that are done, you can't put your finger on it until I point it out, why it looks different, right?
Exactly. That is so cool. Right, because everybody wants that natural light and those beautiful picturesque scenery, you know, that you're seeing outside your window. Why have that covered by that? Yeah. That's great.
That is great.
And so these cabinets, while we're here, let's talk about these.
These are frameless cabinets. So traditionally, Winnebago and others, there's a big frame going around here. And if you think about it, commercial furniture and residential cabinets, they've gone to this frameless design. Why? Well, it does lower the cost if you learn how to build them correctly. But the benefit to the customer is now I don't have to reach over that, right?
Yep.
I've got more opening. My drawers get bigger because I'm not working around that framing, okay? So part of this transition into this journey was to go to frameless cabinets.
That's nice.
We've always been impressed with our Navion about the amount of storage. And here again, we can see like a lot of thought goes into utilizing the space as much as possible for storage.
If you look at some of the drawers, so this is typical of, you know, high-end residential. I want to get around that drain pipe, but there's a lot of room there. So you do a custom drawer there. You can see the same thing here. We've got to get around some of the appliances. So we're trying to maximize exactly, you know, trying to maximize the volume of the drawers and the storage space. Little things like being able to use this space back here, we don't want to block it off. With a slide out and how it works, we couldn't put a door here, but it's still available to you for maximizing that space.
Right, you can have all your kitchen utensils and everything in here and have plenty of space for whatever appliance or anything you may need.
Yeah, and you know, if you notice, this drawer is much bigger because the space is there versus some of the other drawers. So again, we're maximizing, taking every cubic inch we can to make it available to the customers. On the journey, all of them are, they lock in place. They're a soft close.
That's so nice.
So let's move to the back. While we're talking about cabinets, I want to show you the pantry.
All right, let's check it out.
So we've got 2 pantries here, and you notice they're accessible from both sides. Traditionally, we would have had one side blocked off, so if I'm at the refrigerator, yes, I can use it, but if I'm in the galley, you know, I'd be blocked and have to walk around it. So we've upgraded our pantry feature to be accessible on both sides.
That's genius.
So
very nice. And are these?
Yeah, they'll lock in place
so
while you're traveling.
Slide out.
Yeah.
That's also very nice.
Yeah.
And then when we're back here, I want to just talk about this beautiful lighting here. It's all soft, it's warm, and there's some new touches in the lighting.
Yes. We really wanted, again, we were talking about the ceiling and have, you know, a clean ceiling with the normal spots, and they're dimmable and everything. The other thing are just key fixtures. It was important to get the right kind of fixture to meet the styling, match the styling. Want to kind of get away from some of the gaudy fixtures that you know, we see out there, and get something that truly matches, you know, the ambiance and the styling. We also have accent lighting along the top of the cabinets.
That. Nice touch.
And they help light the interior too, so it's a dual purpose lighting. So in the evenings, if you got the lights off and leave the accent on, you can see the stuff inside your cabinets.
When you're reaching in there,
Yeah, so dual purpose on the accent lighting.
That's great.
But it definitely enhances the appearance, highlighting those elements, the cabinetry.
It really does. It's beautiful. Very nice touch. So
why don't we talk about the galley, the kitchen. You can see here we have a multi-purpose, kind of like a Swiss Army knife of sinks. We've got a cutting board that can move back and forth. It's removable. We got a secondary sink. So it's a large sink, but then I can put my soapy water and everything in this, slide it back and forth. And then we have a strainer that sits over the top, and it can be rolled up and put away if you need to.
That.
Very useful. Like I said, my son and I were using the coach as we were traveling to Florida, and I enjoyed this sink very much. I need to work it into my home as we update our kitchen. And the fixture is just wonderful. So you got a couple of spray options, and you can detach this. So it's a wonderful fixture.
And as we're talking about too, with residential and being able to cook meals in your home, this is a fully functional kitchen with plenty of room, to wash your dishes, prepare a big meal. You got this extra space here.
Yeah, I mean, for full-time life, having a large kitchen is important, and I'm really glad that they've considered that as well. And is that a dishwasher?
Yes,
No,
we have a dishwasher here. So
We don't have one.
you're the dishwasher, right?
We are the dishwasher.
I'm real good at that.
But it actually, if you think about it, many people actually use it for storage too.
Oh, okay.
So you can put your dishes and everything in there for storage and then cleaning, and it's a safe place to store your dishes while you're traveling.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, because I mean the surfaces and everything will be soft, right?
Right,
So
right.
therefore, and separates all the plates too. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that is really smart. That is definitely a nice feature to have.
And then the induction cooktop.
Yeah, the induction cooktop, it's a dual burner induction cooktop. Now, one interesting thing about this cooktop, if you're on the campground and you need to cook out there, well, guess what? It comes out.
No way.
And it's just a simple plug, 110 plug. You can take it out. I can cook over here on the table over here, or I can take it into the campground as long as I've got 110.
And it has the feet and everything for that.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
that
made
is
to be
so-
removed.
That was a nice little surprise that we did not see coming.
We did not see that coming.
It's a neat magic trick.
It's portable, and you can take it, like I say, you can cook over here if you
Yeah.
need some more counter space, or you can take it out into the campground.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I wanted to highlight the Backsplash. So we have 3 different decors on the new Journey. What you're seeing is the hewing, okay? It is solid walnut. There's no stain on this. This is just walnut with a clear coat on it. But then Kim did some searching, and a very interesting backsplash, and it's got the walnut in it and some brushed stainless. So it really is a nice feature. And then this wall is surrounded by Corian to match the counters and everything. So a lot of detail.
It really ties everything together nicely.
Gives
And
you
again,
that look.
feels residential.
Yes.
Above
like a
all
house,
else,
yeah.
exactly. It feels like a house.
Yeah.
The television obviously is on a riser.
Yeah,
Right.
Can you show us the magic?
Can you show? Yeah.
Yeah. So if I need that more counter space, I can lower the TV.
And then you have all this extra space to
Right.
work with.
Right.
And
And I've got a theater mode. So I'm dimming the lights and the TV automatically comes up, and then it'll tune in to the last channel you were watching.
oh.
Well, I can't wait to dive into that. The technology, I know there's a lot of technology on the Journey.
So the final part is just that feature wall. You've got the features with the TV here. We incorporated the sound bar, kind of gently put it in the cabinetry so it's not sitting on top of the counter.
Right, it's so subtle in there. You
Right.
don't even really
Yeah.
realize it.
And then of course an electric fireplace for that ambiance, but it also creates heat, when it's not freezing outside, but it's really
chilly
nice.
morning.
Yeah, it's really nice to take the chill off in the mornings or the evenings, yes.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, nothing in the kitchen is using any propane, correct? So
There is no propane on this coach, all electric.
all electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even the water heater.
The water heater is an Aqua Hot, so you have the choice of using electricity to power that or diesel fuel.
Interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
It uses the diesel fuel. So the Aqua Hot system not only provides you the hot water, but also heats the coach. It has dual purpose. On the Journey, there's optional heated floor, which this unit has, but you also have forced air with that system. It's a continuous hot water availability, so it's hot right away, and
That's nice.
you know, you can take, you have lots of hot water.
And then this microwave, is it also convection?
Yes, this
Okay.
is a convection microwave, so.
Oh, that's a good size too.
That's much, yeah, it's bigger than
Yeah.
ours.
Okay, so you've made your pizza, you've activated theater mode, and then we're coming over here to
So
lounge.
we've got our theater seats. So they do recline. And you've got lots of storage here. You've got some cubbies or little pouches for your remotes. If you're working on your computer,
Oh, that's awesome too.
so it can go on either seat.
There's USB in here too.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then check this out. You can sit right there and work.
Yeah, so that's available. It goes on either side.
And I love the thought about having power ports too.
Yeah.
Having the 12 volt.
Yeah, we all live in that age where we've got our mobile devices. We're constantly have them hooked in and powered up, and yeah.
Yeah.
Connectivity.
You can never have too many.
Right.
Honestly, it's like, no, I know there's power right over there, but I need power over here. Right.
And I do really love the desk. That's a nice touch too.
And John, these are two-tone lights, right?
Yes, Caitlin, could you go to the control panel, hit the master on, hold your finger there for a second, and everything will come on. So now we've got these lights that are two-tone. You can point them directly at what your activity. But if I hit it once, it's off. If I hit it again, I just get a blue light. So it's helpful, you know, maybe as a night light, just to leave that on and just enough. Or if I hit it again, you've got it all lit up.
We had our coach for a year, and we didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And the whole time they were always blue lights.
I held it too long one day.
Yeah. And
Magically
we were like,
white.
and we got so excited, and we
Yeah.
felt so embarrassed because we had had it for a year. But those are great. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly as you described. The night light, just when you need just a little bit of ambient
Right,
light, but
right.
you're not really looking for like a focused spotlight. Yeah,
Right.
It's great. And John, I noticed that there's a fancy light switch on the wall, so you can also control the lights in that way?
Yeah, there's several ways to control the lighting. Caitlin had used the main control panel. In several places in the coach, we do have a dedicated panel that interacts with the system. So you can turn the ceiling on and off here. And the buttons that are on these separate control panels are designed for that area. They're specifically designed. So this one has the TV up and down and the lighting in this lounge area. They are battery operated, they're not wired, but they interface with the multiplex system. It's a Firefly system on this coach. So you've got the control panel, you have localized control, and you can use your mobile device to turn lights on and off.
As two people that work from the road, I do love having this option. And this is pretty interesting too. Is this a desk as well?
Yeah, let's go through the Glide and Dine, all its functionality in terms of a dining space plus a workspace. So if I can walk over here, I'm going to put down this counter. So obviously in this position, it looks like a dining table. You can extend this surface, okay? Now let's say I need to work, right? You can obviously use this space, but if I open the drawer here, I can turn, and it actually is quite comfortable. So you can look out the window at the patio side while you're working, or if you choose not to look at your spouse while you're eating, you can eat in that direction too, okay?
This is nice, right? Because right now we work directly across from
We
each
do.
other.
Yeah, we work from the dinette right now.
As
Right.
much as we love
This
each
is,
other, this
yeah,
is nice.
this is a lot better.
Now let's say, Caitlin, you've got a huge project, you got to spread out. Howard, if you'd get up for a moment.
Sure.
And you need more room and you'd like to spread out a little bit more.
Wow.
Now I've got an L-shaped space.
Welcome to my office.
Right, right. So this Glide and Dine offers us a lot of functionality, flexibility when you're on the road.
And I love that name too. I mean, obviously it's true to its name in that you can slide that down. This is a great, great feature. I'm like in love with this right now. All
I'm
the space.
amazed.
Yeah, you're
I mean, to have an actual, that is a genuine reaction.
I didn't know it could
being
do
able
that.
to have an L-shaped desk on the road is incredible. Theoretically, if you were having more people in, can you add a third chair?
Yeah, and optional with the Journey is our Ottomans, which is a combination of chair, ottoman, and it has storage. So
Ottoman.
yes, those are optional, and so you can use those as ottomans in the coach, but then if you flip up the back of the seat, you can add more seats here around the dining experience.
That's nice. And you've got this big window here too.
Yep. This one doesn't have the vents, if you notice, because we really wanted a picture window. The one behind Howard has the vents, and we feel that's adequate. What we really, again, want that home feel. We don't want the site broken up by the vents and everything and the screens.
Right, you can sit here and daydream out the window while you're working.
Yep.
This is beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. I notice power again. You have power on both
Both
ends.
sides,
Oh,
so
nice.
him and her power. So when you're both using your computers and other devices, you've got it accessible from both sides, yes.
Yeah, that's really nice. And then you don't have a bunch of cords like draped everywhere. So yeah, that's perfect. And then more storage underneath.
Yep.
All right, so it's time to grab lunch. So let's take a look at the refrigerator.
All right. We have a Samsung residential refrigerator. It is a cabinet depth refrigerator. We wanted to have the right piece here. I talked about the sight lines and everything, and if we would have gotten a normal refrigerator, it would have impacted the hallway here. So it was important for us to get the right refrigerator. You don't sacrifice interior volume, it's just the right refrigerator for this location. It is a high-end refrigerator with all the features and a pull-out drawer freezer.
Wow, so you really can stock a lot
Yes.
in here, which is great for long road trips or if
Correct.
you have a big family.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's got an ice maker, water available in the door.
And how does this fridge run?
It is a 110. It doesn't run 12 volt. We don't have propane on this. This is a full residential refrigerator. So if you just have the battery voltage, you're using the inverter. If you've got the generator running or shore power, no big deal.
Okay, awesome. And I love how sleek it is too.
Yeah,
It's nice.
blends in quite well.
And this area here is so spacious, which I love. And we've got a full length mirror here, which you don't often find in an RV. This is a
Right.
great feature.
Right.
And then the bathroom. So let's talk about this. And it's great too. The door opens all the way up.
Yep.
And it's
Give
nice and roomy in here, John.
full access. The door is a very nice door. It's not that hollow core door that feels very flimsy.
Right.
And then you'll see the aesthetics come in here in terms of the cabinetry, again, that rich walnut. But the Backsplash is different
It is,
than the galley. So that's just a different look there, but a very generous size sink. And then obviously when you walk in here, you can see the lit mirror. So again, that's Kim Mann saying, guys, you know, if I'm putting my makeup on, you know, I've got to have it lit the proper way.
This is something you see in hotels, in nice high-end houses, and the fact that we have this here in an RV bathroom is absolutely incredible. And then look at here too, we've got some storage. This is great. You can tuck your hairdryer away
Right.
and all your makeup so it's off the counter.
That's the appliance garage, kind of for the bathroom.
Oh, I love that.
You can leave. There's a plug in there. You can leave your hairdryer plugged in and just kind of stow it in that
Oh,
area.
that's so
so
easy.
it's
Instead
very
of trying
convenient.
to find somewhere
Yeah.
to hang it or stash it,
Right.
that's great. And then we've got storage
More
in
storage
here.
up there. Yeah.
Wow.
And so why don't you take a look in the shower?
Okay. Oh, that shower head.
It's a wonderful piece of hardware we put in there. So you got a rain shower, the wand, and a separate spout if you need to fill a bucket or clean your feet. We also, in looking at the competitors, we did a lot of measurements to find out the size of showers, and we wanted to stay best in class for this length coach. And as you get into the bigger journeys, you even get a bigger shower.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it looks like too, is this adjustable here?
Yep.
It slides. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So
is
very
a
high-end,
luxurious
yeah.
shower.
And then the toilet is an electric flush. You're not going to use that pedal, and it's like a residential toilet in terms of how it operates. The controls are here on the wall.
Oh, okay, there we go.
You can do a light flush or a full flush to conserve your water. We do have a central vac on the new Journey. It's wonderful. Having
I'm
cleaned
so
a lot of
excited,
RVs, I was using it last night just to try it out, and it has the connection point is here. So the minute you push the hose in, it makes a contact and turns on the central vac. It's got a long hose, long enough. I was doing the instrument panel back to the bedroom, cleaning. There's, you know, I was doing all the drawers and cabinets and everything, just trying it out. And the main unit is down below. So when you do clean out the dirt and debris, you're not in the coach, it's down below. So we'll
John,
show
you're
that.
speaking my language.
Oh, it was
I
wonderful.
love to clean. I bet. I'm like getting excited about this. The fact that you can just plug that in and clean everything.
Yeah.
And especially we have dogs. Like that
Yeah.
is such a nice
Yeah,
function to
exactly.
be able to do that and then empty it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's really cool.
It is wonderful. So why don't we step into the bedroom? So a lot of things in terms of the bed. We took a look at, we wanted a king size standard. And we also, on the two fully functional nightstands, you have plenty of room to walk around the bed. And there's a plug in, 110 plug and USB on each side. And it's big enough to put a CPAP machine. So we know a lot of our customers, maybe one, maybe two, that's an important, that you got enough room.
It's in here, so this lifts up?
That lifts up.
Oh,
And
wow.
then you have easy access to all that storage in there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it looks nice. It's a functional nightstand.
And this bed feels very comfortable. It's a king size bed. Tell me about the mattress.
Well, we took a stab. If you look at mattress technology, the foam has changed a lot over the years, and you hear all the different layers that are in these high-tech foam mattresses. We, in fact, made this mattress ourselves at Stitchcraft, and we're experimenting with our own mattress design. So you have the antimicrobial layer, you have the cooling layer, and then you have the foam itself. And we've got to dial that in, but we found that it's better for us to custom make the mattress for the experience and the comfort.
Because I feel like so often that's something that people have this idea that RV beds aren't comfortable.
Yeah.
You guys are changing the game there.
Yeah, yeah. So the other thing we did, we know people want to choose their own bedspread and everything. So we're not going to try and match the aesthetics. So what you have is something very neutral, but we provide a shoe skirt, you know, and you're welcome to use this to keep your bedspread clean when you're taking that nap and you know, have your shoes on or whatever. But this is made at our Stitchcraft, so we control a lot of our own soft goods in terms of the theater seating, and then, like I said, the mattress, and a lot of the headboard. That's all made by Winnebago at our Stitchcraft division.
Which is really impressive. And then this headboard too, the aesthetic here, again, totally clean, beautiful, elegant looking.
Yeah, so Kim's philosophy is still, you know, this is a warmer wood, a darker wood, but the backdrop is very neutral. So if you want to decorate it with your own things, they aren't going to clash with some loud fabric or a loud headboard or whatever. So there's still a neutral backdrop to do your own decorating. We have a 40-inch TV here in the bedroom. It doesn't stay in this position. It'll swing out so it's comfortable to watch while you're in bed. But given the floor space, we needed to use that space there to store it while you're traveling. So you can see you've got a comfortable position while you're sleeping or while you're in bed to watch TV, and it's got its own sound bar back here. We also took the opportunity to design a built-in dresser. So we could have done very large, deep drawers, but those become a bit cumbersome, especially with his and hers clothes, and you want to separate, and you want some flexibility in organizing. So there's 9 drawers here. Again, soft close with those, and it's to simulate more like a built-in dresser. And you've got overheads again here and over the bed. So there's lots of storage here, but that's not the best thing. Let's turn around, Howard. We're going to go open the closet. And we've got a Baldacci flexible closet system.
Wow, just like residential.
Yeah.
Wow, even with for the shoes.
Yeah, we've got a shoe. This is what comes standard on this unit. So you've got the shelf, the hanging bar, you've got a shoe rack, you've got a pants rack, and another shelf. You can go online and order other things or, you know, more of the same stuff, but it's totally flexible.
Oh, that's great. From an organizational standpoint, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And using a name brand like that as well makes it easy for accessories.
Right.
Right, you can add on, build things out to your liking.
The aesthetics, though, match the coach. It's really, really nice. The other thing I wanted to show you is this large cabinet. If you order the optional washer and dryer, it would go here. We do have the hookup standard, so you don't have to rebuild the whole unit in order to add it later. But a huge amount of storage, and then down below you can see that's where I had my central vac components when I was trying it out last night. So big cabinet.
This really does feel like a master bedroom that you would find in a house. From the dresser drawers, you have a ceiling fan, a king-size bed. I mean, what more could you need?
Yeah, and this beautiful barn door too. I love this, and especially the fixtures themselves.
Yeah, the hardware is all stainless steel, and you've got another full-length mirror. So if Caitlin's getting dressed in the evening, she has her own mirror here. She doesn't have to step out into the hallway. The other thing we found, though, that we wanted, while we were driving, we wanted to make sure this door stayed in place. So we came up with an interesting lock here. That's what this handle is. It blends in with the hardware, but it will lock this door in place so it's not opening and closing while you're driving. It's a solid lock. I didn't want to put something on the floor because you're going to stub your toe, right? I wanted it up high, but it blends in with the hardware and everything. It works very well.
I love that. And to continue the theme of great lighting, that's here in the bedroom too, but where exactly do you turn them on and off?
Well, Caitlin, I used the switch panel over there to operate the bed, but we also, Howard, if you look under the overhead, there's a switch panel, so if you're lying in bed, you can control the master lighting, and you can also control your reading lights and the lights in the bedroom.
So you've really made it easily accessible, yeah, even when you're just laying in bed.
That right balance of localized control, and we had to find the right positions and what do we control on each of those switch panels. But then we have our full control panel, which we can talk about next if you'd like.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Okay, so back in the hallway here, I want to make a little more room in here, but let's go and demonstrate how you would travel with the Glide and Dine. These three panels get moved into the center, okay? And then we can rotate the seats. There's a strap to hold them in place, so they're out of the way, and then the table slides in as well.
Wow.
So this gets all bundled up, so I can bring the slide outs in, and there's enough room to get by it with all the slides in and get at the bathroom. So,
And with the straps, it's locked in.
yeah, the chairs don't go anywhere, so when you're traveling.
That's great. You don't have to try to maneuver and find a spot for them.
Right.
It's built in.
Yeah, so on this wall we have our main control screen for the Winnebago Connect. Traditionally in coaches, and the higher end ones, they do have a screen, but if you go into lower level coaches, there's multiple controllers and it's not very well integrated.
You get the wall of panels.
Right, and then you got to figure them all out, and that's part of that user experience and user interface, UX, UI. So as we started working on this, we knew we wanted to develop connected coach. We wanted to take over some of that UX, UI design to make it more intuitive, right? The expectation of customers now is we've got those mobile apps that are great, and we've got those mobile apps that are horrible and you can't figure anything out. So the other thing is a lot of the control systems out there were designed by people that have been in the industry for 40 years. So things are very obvious to them, but as a new user, you may not understand the terminology or why things are important. So again, that user experience with a proper user interface. You can see your tank levels, but we also interface with the chassis. So I always know my fuel level, my diesel fuel level. I don't have to turn the chassis on. Water pump, I've got my basic temperatures. And then voltage in battery is always important. And what's the main power source? So right now it's identifying we're on 50 amp shore power. And then we've got some other things like the master lighting. We can lock the bay doors down below for security from this screen. The ceiling fan, I can run it from here. The vent controls is accessible from here, so I've got all the functionality of the 2 vents. And you will also get, you can see this alerts. So as the coach finds certain problems, or we need to send you a message or remind you that G&R is coming up and you should, make your reservation, you'll see a little exclamation point, and then you'll push that and you can read your alerts or whatever. That'll be on your mobile device as well.
So all of this functionality is also going to be on the mobile app as well?
Yes.
Wow.
Everything you can do here, you can do on the mobile app as well. It'll look a little different being on a cell phone, set up a little different. You got to scroll it, as opposed to this 7-inch screen in its orientation. Yes.
Is it fair to say that everything is controllable from here? So even down to lighting, the heated floors, all accessories?
Yeah,
Okay.
all the major systems and things you want to control are controllable at this screen. And then that added convenience of being outside when you extend an awning or extend the leveling jacks, you can look to see, are they going down? I can control that from outside the coach. Make sure when I'm putting the slide out, I'm not going to hit anything. I can stand outside the coach. You can only do that what we call near field. So there's a lot of mechanical things you can only do when you're around the coach. There are things you can do when you're far field, right? So I go into Walmart, hey honey, did you lock the bay doors? Oh no, I forgot. Lock the bay doors. Honey, spots on the coach, did you crank up the AC? It's 80 degrees out there. I bet it's getting warm. Yeah, you're right. Okay, crank up the AC. Things like that.
When you have dogs, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
to be able to check the temperature inside that easily,
Right.
that's wonderful.
Right.
And does it give that feedback? So as far as temperature and everything, it will tell you the temperature of the coach as well on the app?
Correct.
Wow.
It'll tell, right now we're reading this temperature for the interior, but then you can change the set point and then monitor that the temperature is going up or down from your mobile device.
And it seems pretty intuitive too. I mean, even if you were a first-time user, I mean, we are full-time now, but we had never owned a coach before. And so it was everything was a learning experience. So I like how intuitive this display is.
So if I go into the electrical screen, I can see my generator here. It's telling me it's stopped. I can start it. If I go into settings, I can do everything I want with the auto gen start. But I take it off the main screen.
It also has, I want to point this out, it has quiet times.
You can schedule that.
Yeah, so you can program it like in certain campgrounds like national parks, there are very specific intervals of time where you can run your generator. So
Correct.
That's great.
Correct. You can pre-program that, and then it allows the if quiet time ends at 8 o'clock, 8:01, the generator comes on and I'm good to go. If I only have batteries on, I haven't turned on the inverter, I can't run the microwave, the refrigerator's not running, so it'll tell you that. It'll tell you that by the green dots what's available based on the energy you have at the coach. And as you increase your energy, turn the inverter on, hook up to shore power, run the generator, it's going to tell you what key features are available now. And then the number of green balls gives you a relative idea of the amount of power it's going to consume.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right. So air
from
conditioner
one
has
ball,
3.
Yeah, 3 balls for an air conditioner, 2 balls for the refrigerator, and so forth. So we give that relative amount of energy consumption. And that's been an issue that we see through our customer care quite a bit. People can't understand why I turn the inverter on, I can't run the air conditioner. Well, the air conditioning draws a lot of power, and based on a Class A, you need to turn on the generator or get some shore power to crank up those ACs.
So that function really helps take the guesswork out of some of that.
Right. So then there's a climate control, and for this unit, I've got the heated floor, so I can control that. I can control my zone heat. We do have heated bays that'll keep it 50 degrees or more, so as the ambient drops, you're not going to have any problems with your water systems. It is an Aqua Hot System, so that also provides your hot water for showers and cleaning and sink, and as well as heating the coach. If I want to control the rear of the coach, these are the lights in the rear of the coach. okay? If I'm in the lounge galley, this is what I control. If it's got the double arrow, you can dim it. So it's hard to see here, but you can see it dim down and dim up just by holding the light bulb.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I can control the cab. We demonstrated theater mode. I've got the master lights, and I also can go to my exterior lights. For your mechanicals, we have a screen where, you know, we're going to warn the customer you're about to do something that is mechanical, moving slide outs, you know, just beware, make sure there's no little ones running around.
Look at your surroundings.
Yes,
yeah,
be
right.
aware of your surrounding, where the trees are. So I can do, for instance, my slide outs from here. I can also do it on my mobile device. I can stand outside the coach and watch it come out from outside the coach.
Which is great because you don't have to have either a walkie-talkie or be on a phone with somebody or...
We do that right now.
Yeah.
So when we put our slide out, one of us will usually
Spotter.
be outside as a spotter, but I literally have to be either on the phone or waving at her through the front window.
Right.
So I like this idea.
Yeah, so I can do that. And then we'll have information available, like operator manuals. What we do is provide QR codes. So you would use your mobile device and then you can download information. You'll have dealer information and some how-to videos. And of course there's a setting screen in terms of screensaver, you know, put it in cleaning mode, and some app information to tie your mobile device to the connected coach.
And so all of this is powered through Wi-Fi connectivity?
Yeah, we connect to the coach locally with Wi-Fi, so I can control near field just outside the coach, around the coach, and we have standard Wi-Fi connectivity. If I'm far field, then we rely on the cellular connection through the cellular gateway that's standard on the coach, and then that'll allow you to control those things that are far field. So why don't we transition to the driving experience and talk about what we did up front. That sound good?
Sounds great. Well, this certainly doesn't look like most coaches that you see.
Exactly. I really didn't want it to look like you were driving a cabin down the road. So we intentionally didn't use the cabinet doors in the front of the coach. We're striving to have something that's a more automotive experience. When you're driving the coach, that's a different situation. So we wanted to look different, okay? So these cabinets, you know, we still have the nice rich walnut, but they look different. There still is space up here, so I can still store things up here. We have the slide to put stuff up on the side. And with these sliding doors, we had some fun. I don't know if you know the term Easter egg. We were playing around.
Oh, like a game, like a hidden feature.
Hidden elements.
Yeah.
So on this side we have a topographical map of Iowa, and where the little journey is sitting, that's downtown Forest City. So it's just, you know, some of that real hidden, you know, tie to our heritage, Iowa. And then on the other side, we didn't want to repeat it, so we've got the Flying W. But you notice there's a little journey here, and if you slide the one door, he goes through the pine trees and ends up at the beach. So it's kind of fun. So
it's the journey of the journey.
The journey of the journey. So just having some fun, you know, with these little Easter eggs. You'll also notice I've got a lot of room up here. We wanted to open this up. All the other RVs that I've been in and I've looked at and everything, it's the flat ceiling that comes across, and there is room up there. So we intentionally, it's all tied in with the exterior. There's room up there, so let's make it feel big. Now we do have an optional loft bed, so we got plenty of room to put it up there, stow it away, not have any head clearance issues. But if you don't have that option, again, this is an automotive grade headliner, and it's formed. We have the accent lights to kind of tie it off and make it look nice. It's a different driving experience. This is a best in class in terms of ingress and egress through here. The door opening is best in class in terms of the width of the door opening. So I didn't give up any functionality, any access, ingress, egress, with providing a more intimate experience. The other thing from an automotive perspective is the door. Every RV Class A out there is a flat slab. if you look at this, it is a sculptured, formed, molded inner panel. Again, that automotive experience. So, Howard, where's the screen door? We don't have one.
I was gonna say, I'm like, is this a trick?
Okay, so
I didn't know where it was.
So in here, I've got a short section that folds out, and then I have another section. So I still have a screen door, but let's get it out of the way when I'm traveling down the road. What we wanted to do is provide visibility, okay? Winnebago is known for very narrow A-pillars. We have a structure going up there that allows us to bring that almost to the size of most cars. It's very narrow, again, helps us with that visibility. The other thing we did, you'll notice that the mirrors are high mounted. So on competitive products, if I sit as a driver, there's 30 degrees that I cannot see pedestrians. And, you know, if I'm driving in a campground, a gas station, an urban environment, there's 30 degrees that's blocked because of the pillar and where that driver's side mirror is. So we wanted to get them up to improve the visibility down low. The other thing is, Caitlin, if you want to sit in the passenger seat.
Which is very comfortable.
Can you see the passenger side mirror?
I cannot.
That's as designed. I don't want to block your view as you're driving down the road,
Right. Taking
and
pictures.
obstruct it with a mirror in your way. But it's the perfect position for the driver to be able to see the passenger or the right side of the vehicle as you're driving down the road. It's the perfect position. The other element is it's high. So when we first introduced this on the virtual product launch, I was reading comments, and people said, oh, why would you do that? It makes your neck hurt. I just drove it 1,500 miles, and we spent a lot of time positioning these mirrors. They're a direct horizontal look into these mirrors. They're positioned just right based on where you're sitting in the coach.
So you're not looking up.
You don't look up.
Right.
It's straight across. But when I need to look down, I got an unobstructed view. But I want to point out one additional feature with the location of the mirrors. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take my mask off if you guys want to put yours on. With where we've positioned the mirrors, they're high mounted to provide two other benefits. That is that I have less wind noise. The other thing is, if somebody is walking around the coach, you're not going to hit your head on the arm. It's way up high. It's another benefit to having the mirrors high mounted. While I'm talking about the mirrors, both the flat mirror and the concave mirror are both adjustable electrically, so I can adjust them left and right, both mirrors and both features on the mirror. The other thing we did was change the style window we have here on the driver's side. It's a slider. There's not a screen here. Again, automotive, you don't have a screen in your car. If I need to pay a toll or talk to anybody, I got plenty of room. I can stick my head out. It's plenty big enough. I can get some ventilation if I need it. But when it's in the stowed position, I've got a big, huge piece of glass for visibility. As we designed the instrument panel, we wanted to keep this profile down low. Winnebagos are known for your ability to see something in front of the coach. So this visibility, downward visibility, we maintain that best-in-class feature in terms of visibility, being able to see in front of your coach without having to stand up. The other thing we did was very simple and elegant instrument panel. We have a 12.3-inch Excite screen here. We'll be the first on the market with it. That will handle your audio features, your GPS. It'll be a split screen. We have the Freightliner OptiView in front of you, and you can see they're balanced. They're the same size. That's why we went to this 12.3 AST Excite to develop it. The other thing we worked on, we mentioned briefly, is the noise. We needed to make serious improvements in terms of noise, reducing the noise as you're driving down the road. Again, to improve that experience driving, I want to be able to talk to my passenger, not scream. So we worked on this windshield to have the rounded edge, cleaned up the A-pillars so I don't have a lot of wind noise. The mirrors are out of the way, not creating wind noise. The other thing we did on this headliner, it has acoustical foam on the entire headliner, helping to reduce noise in this driving compartment. There is acoustical foam on the front fascia in front of the generator, and the entire stepwell is lined with that acoustical foam. That's reducing the noise as I'm driving down the road. So we're reducing the amount of road noise coming in, the amount of noise coming from wind over the roof. It's contoured outside. We'll talk about that when we get out there. The other thing is this headliner, all the way back, the entire coach is all an automotive grade headliner. It's perforated, foam back, so it's changing just the experience when you're parked. It allows you to hear somebody talking at a normal level, enhances that enjoyment of your music as it's coming through the system or watching TV. So everything we could do to enhance that experience from an audio perspective and reduce noise was put into this coach. And
you did some testing, right, of the coach. Talk about the testing and what you were doing.
Well, we worked with a third party, a scientific lab, to help us measure where the competition is, measure where we had been, and then set some targets. So just recently, after we finished this particular coach, we drove back to that company and we said, hey, let's test again, see how we did. And we had a competitive coach, a brand new competitive coach, and we tested them side by side. We did things as driving 55 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour down a road. We had 5 different microphones in the front of the coach while we were driving, collecting that data. And we drove in both directions with both coaches to zero out any wind effect. We did static, just with the engine running and what kind of noise we were hearing. Then the other thing we did was we parked in a quiet area and we turned the generator on. And with all the work we're doing, we want to make sure if you have to run your generator, you don't have to yell over it when you're living in your coach. And so it's kind of funny with the audio engineer. She said, hey, John, we're going to test the generator. Why don't you turn it on? And I said, it's already on. No, yes, it's already on. So
it was that quiet.
It was that quiet. It was amazing. So it was fun to do that. And then we did another test where we had the slide outs out, and we set up 3 speakers a set distance away from the coach, and we bombarded the side of the coach with white noise, the whole spectrum of noise. And we measured outside the coach, and then we measured in the coach. So why we were doing this is, if you're parked for the night in a noisy campground, we want to make sure you have a quiet experience if the neighbors are going overboard. So to make sure we're checking that box and providing that quiet experience.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think we're ready to step outside if there's no other questions and go around the outside.
No, let's take a look.
Yeah, I would just say the inside has blown us away. This is so beautiful, and the attention to detail at every turn is quite impressive.
So I want to follow up with this door to describe while we're standing next to it. Some key elements to the design of this door. You'll notice that there's 2 latching points. If I look at any of the other coaches on the lot here, they're all a single latch in the center. So why do I do 2? Well, it gets back to this noise. We want to pull that door in tight and make sure it doesn't rattle when you're going down the road, okay? The other thing is, when we did that, we also redesigned the interior mechanism. So you'll notice that the outside handle is lower than the inside handle. So we separated them. All the other Class A's out there, the inside and the outside are at the same location. And it's a neutral location.
It's manufacturer convenience.
I'm reaching up from the outside and I'm reaching down from the inside. Well, that's not very pleasing. So we separated them. So it's a comfortable height when you're outside the coach. and it's a comfortable automotive style, not a lever latch on the inside of the coach.
And then power steps as well.
Yes. The other thing is we do have a step cover, a motorized step cover, so that when you're on the road, your passenger has a nice foothold to place their feet. And again, motorized. We've taken a little bit of work to dress up the entry level with some stitching and everything. That's made by Stitchcraft as well. Now I want to talk about the outside as a whole. So let's go around front, and I'm going to bring the slide outs in. Again, I can do this by
From
my phone. Bring things in, the slide outs in. Leveling jacks can go up or down with your phone. So that's the one side. We're going to talk about the slick appearance, but I want to start in the front of the coach. This coach is built completely different. So the fiberglass front end, but now I've got a 3-degree taper on both sides. I bring that in. Why did we do that? Well, it's the appearance, right? I can do things with the fiberglass, add some features and some character here as opposed to a straight wall. The other thing is it provides some directional stability when I'm going down the road. This is a lot of surface area. And so just 3 degrees on each side with all this surface area allows me more stability going down the road. So when that semi's passing you or you're passing it, it helps you drive.
It's more aerodynamic.
Yes, it's aerodynamic. It's not a brick going down the road. We talked about the rounded windshield. So now the A-pillars are not proud. They're not sticking out. There's not cavities to catch all that wind noise. It's nice and smooth here, smooth sides. We need LED projectors. Why? Not only the appearance, but it's also the quality of light, safety in the drive. These lights give you 30% more lumens. Wow. And it's also that whiter light. So it looks good aesthetically, it's up-to-date technology, and it's a safer drive.
Yeah,
okay?
It's brighter, so you can see more.
See more, yeah.
So that combined with the range of view that you get up there definitely opens up your line of sight.
I'm going to pull the radiator out
Okay.
to show you that foam that I was talking about.
Wow.
So now if you peek your head in here, you can see all this foam.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's several inches thick of this foam, and that's just there for noise.
Wow.
It absorbs noise.
Makes a huge
Prevents
difference.
that wind noise and road noise from getting up into the coach. It's on the panel there. You can see elements of it there.
Mm-hmm.
It's around that stairwell. It's over the headliner. All that work to reduce noise.
And while we have this out, diesel generator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is great.
10,000 watt generator. We've got an integrated awning. Okay, so this awning will come out 12 feet to cover an enormous patio, but it's integrated. So now going down the road, it's nice and sleek. It's not attached to the outside of the coach. Over the slide outs, we don't have those little awnings. We've got a sweep ease. The other element, if you look at our cargo doors, where's the paddle? I don't have these paddles
Is
here.
it the button?
It's the
Oh,
button.
it's the magic button.
Okay, Caitlin, why don't you just push the button once?
Okay.
And the door will pop open.
It's like
Okay.
magic.
And it's easy to open. Put your things in. Take a look at everything.
And these are heated too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the cargo bays are heated. Now give it a gentle close so the latch engages, a little more than that. There.
And that's it. And it's going in by
And
itself.
it cinches tight.
I know, you almost feel like you have to force it, and it's like magical.
We're
that
so
it
used to
doesn't do that.
slamming
Yeah.
things. I
Right.
feel like we slam things all the time. No
Right.
more slamming.
And that just gently goes
But
in.
now, what did it do to the outside of the coach? I got rid of all the latches, all those paddle latches. It cleans up the side. One other element is all the cargo doors on the market are just flat and got a little radius at the bottom. We took this opportunity to add a design feature in terms of some lines, right? Let's dress this up a little bit too, give it some character. It also stiffens up the doors. So there's a lot of benefit aesthetically and structurally to do this.
Also, with the electronics, that's how you're able to lock and unlock remotely and all of that, right? So you can lock all of the storage at one touch, right?
What happens if I lose electricity? How do I get in there? What happens if I've had it in storage and I disconnected the batteries? How do I get in there? So in the rear engine cover, that's lockable with a key, mechanically lockable. If you open that up, there'll be a little handle and it'll open the first door. And then once you get the first door open, there's another handle to open the next door and the next door and the next door. So they're all daisy chained together. You start at the rear, forward, but you can always open these doors even if you don't have electricity.
Oh, and get to your access
Smart.
points.
Yeah.
Smart,
So-
real smart.
Okay, so, you know, we worked really hard for the slickness on the side of the coach, but we ran into a problem when it came to the small awning over the door. If I just mounted that over the door and covered the entryway, that awning would stick out past the windshield, because we've got, for aerodynamics, this windshield is raked back, a nice curved surface on top. How do I deal with that? So we've designed an awning, and I'll move it out with my handy dandy my phone. As it comes out, it moves forward.
Oh, it's on a track. It's
Yeah.
sliding.
That's
So-
amazing.
So when I'm going down the road, the awning is where I want it, not sticking out. And you can go look at the competitors. There's some examples where it sticks out like a spear to cover that. But it's over the doorway when I need it, okay? And if I put it back in, it'll move back into position.
I've never ever seen a sliding awning like that.
Never.
That's so cool.
So, okay, so we can go through some of the compartments if you'd like.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, wait, can we point out this very important feature?
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is
For us.
You can describe it.
This is a very, very important feature right here if you're a dog lover. So this is to tie the dog's leash off and then they can be out here with you, because a lot of campgrounds have rules about making sure your dog is on a lead. And there you go, right there. So then all your doggies can hang out with you. I love that. Piper, Ella, and Scout would be right here with us.
Definitely.
This is just the fuel door. We have one on each side so you can fill from either side. This first compartment houses your audio visual equipment. So we've got a HDMI matrix that handles what signal, what I'm using around the coach. And then we've got the dish technology, and we do have a DVD in this coach right now. So there's still ample storage there. And I can add some additional devices if I want and tie it in through the HDMI matrix.
And so, like, for example, a Chromecast or a streaming device would go into this compartment.
You can do it down here, or you can do it locally at the TVs too. Yeah. When we were inside the coach, we talked about the flat floor. In order to do that, we have to raise the floor in front of the engine. But we made that commitment that was going to be standard. And that is a huge living benefit when you're living in your coach to have a flat floor. But now we then get more storage down below, because I've raised that floor up, again, standard on this platform. So we went in, we designed this system that's a bridge between the front end of the coach and the back end of the coach that's structurally 4 times stiffer from a torsional stiffness. And that gives you a better handling. It feels more, you have more confidence driving it down the road, and it reduces noise. So if you move that structure out and down and carefully tie it all together, what we have is best-in-class storage. You've got 31 inches of unobstructed storage. When we designed this platform, what we wanted to do is everything from this point forward is always the same. And everything from that point rearward is always the same. Why did we do that? Well, if we build it the same, it helps manufacturing maintain quality. We don't have different tanks and different plumbing and different electrical every time we build a different floor plan. So we want to commonize that. But it also helps us, our customers, if they do have to go into service, it doesn't matter if you've got a 34-foot or a 40-foot, the technicians know exactly how to service it. It's always the same. The additional philosophy with that platform is when I go from this 34-foot floor plan to the 40-foot floor plan, all I'm adding is empty space.
Right, which is much easier to do.
Just
trying to build
empty
other
space.
things. Yeah.
So all that computer modeling we did was based on the 40-footer to make sure that it could handle the loads, it was flat, and we could do this platform approach and just add empty space. So you can imagine taking this compartment and adding 6 more feet. We have our outdoor TV. We made the decision not to put it high, and this is part of the voice of the customer. Yes, I know tailgating, it might be a little low, but most people watch their TVs while they're sitting around enjoying the outdoors. So I can easily sit on my camp chair at the picnic table. It's the proper level.
Right, you're not straining your neck.
Right, you're not looking up all the time. It's a proper level, and we'll pull that out in a minute. But you have a wireless subwoofer for that and also a sound bar on that TV.
There's a wireless subwoofer.
Yeah, Samsung.
Wow.
Well, that's handy.
So you got to have your quality tunes when you're outside too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So from a service perspective, what we did was we organized all our electrical systems to make it easier for technicians and the consumer. They know right where to go. I've got my circuit breakers 12 volts. I got my AC 110 circuit breakers all organized in one location. And I've got my wiring harness identified right here. So if anybody needs to do any sort of diagnostics, it's all here. It's all centrally located. It's easy to get to. Organized, it's designed well, aesthetically, it looks great. It's not a detractor. So from a quality, serviceability, and appearance, it was the right thing to do.
And one thing I can definitely state with this is the fact that Winnebago includes schematics and full wiring diagrams for every harness. We have had to use that before when we had a question about was something working the way it was originally intended.
That's very
And
helpful.
I believe that that's an exclusive with Winnebago. As far as I'm aware, I don't know anybody else that does that.
Yeah, we have an electrical engineering team that designs full schematics down to wiring harnesses, and then we have a division in Waverly, Iowa that builds us wiring harnesses unique to the application and the product. Now I'll mention again to this platform situation, the main chassis harness that connects the back of the coach to the front of the coach, both on the Winnebago side and the Freightliner side. It doesn't matter if it's 34 or 40, it's the same wiring. It's literally the same part. All we do on a 34 is put a loop in it, and when we stretch it to make a 40, we just stretch it out straight. It's the same part number. So if we get it all right, it's always right every time.
That's great.
And something also of note is the fact that all the wires are also labeled. I did notice that too, that when you look, obviously they're tucked away and hidden, but each one has a unique label and identifier on it, so that way you can always trace it back, or for technician purposes.
Right. So nobody else does that.
No. And this is a good sized TV, with a sound bar too.
Yeah, it's a 40-inch TV, soundbar, the wireless subwoofer like I described, and plenty of outlets out here to add whatever audio-visual equipment you may need, or anything else in the campsite that you may want to do, like cook outside here with your induction cooktop. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we know we can take it outside.
Yeah, you can sit right by your TV and cook out here, so no problem. Okay, let's put this back in and then we'll go to the next compartment.
Okay.
Here you can see the batteries. This is our inverter here in this compartment. There is an upgrade for lithium batteries, 4 lithium batteries, and that also adds solar. So we have 345 watts of solar with that option. Okay? We're going to move on to the next compartment, and this is where the Aqua Hot system goes. Now I have to warn you that this unit is the prototype, and we were evaluating the 250 level Aqua Hot, and we didn't find it acceptable from a customer perspective. So we have made the decision to make the 400 Aqua Hot standard on the Journey. And this Aqua Hot system does three primary things. It provides the hot water for your showers and cleaning dishes. It provides the heating in terms of a forced air heating. And then if you get the optional heated floor, it also creates the heat for that. But it's a continuous hot water supply. So you can take a very long shower if you want.
Makes a world of difference.
The final door on this side, we're back here by the engine. So we've got the chassis, batteries, and we've got some of the electric controls that are provided with Freightliner. So I talked about the rear of the coach. Aesthetically, nice and clean, matches the sides. If I open the rear hatch, with the side-mounted radiator, the engine is exposed for service and maintenance. I'm not climbing around under and around the radiator.
I also noticed there's a backup camera.
Yeah, correct. There is a camera attached to the Excite system, and you get several different views. You can look at a hitch view if you're, attaching your trailer, want to take a look at that. There's an immediate view. You can actually watch your trailer or whatever as you're going down the road, take a look at it. And then there's a horizon view. So that gives you a good perspective of when you're traveling down the road if you want to see what's behind you. But certainly as you're reversing, getting your coach in position, you want to have that view of the back of the coach.
Yeah, definitely helpful for backing up.
For sure. And I see a tow hitch. So for those who want to tow a vehicle, can you tell us about that?
10,000 pound capacity.
Wow.
So, yep. This customer wants to be able to tow a vehicle, tow their other toys. We need to have adequate towing capacity. Let's take a look at the driver's side. So side-mounted radiator, again, a feature that's generally reserved for high-end coaches. It's standard on the Journey. We want to standardize the platform. We don't want to have to switch both ways. We only build this one way, so it's always the same. We can maintain that quality and give the customer that feature that they find desirable. Okay, in this compartment we have our DEF tank, diesel emission fluid. So those of you that are familiar with diesel powertrains, we need to add that fluid less regularly than the fuel. It's located in this compartment. The next compartment, it has our electrical umbilical cord. We have a power reel to when you go to bring it back in, so it's convenient, not that pile of wire in the compartment. So here it has, black, gray water, fresh water. We have raised it so you're not at an uncomfortable angle, hooking things up. It is raised up, taking advantage of that raised floor. We also have a power reel for the freshwater attachment, so you can have the hose conveniently stored and put back into the coach.
I see an external shower as well.
Yep, keep things clean. We have a switch plate back here, so you can do some controls like the service light over here. And then we can turn the water pump on and off back here. And we can stroke the jacks back here too.
And what kind of capacity are we working with here for freshwater, black, and gray tanks?
Well, the freshwater tank is 105 gallons, the gray water is 96 gallons, and the black tank is 57 gallons.
Wow, and just like with Stitchcraft doing the upholstery, you all do your own tanks as well, right?
Yes, we rotomold our own tanks so they can be customized, optimized, maximized for the chassis in the space we have available. We're not restricted to what a supplier has off the shelf. We can optimize it. Now, my discussion of the platform is that those tanks are always the same in the same location regardless of floor plan. So again, helping us with quality and service. So we're going to go to the next compartment and see the other end of our storage. So it's the same tray.
I could still lay in it.
Yep. Tray comes out just on the other side. It's completely pass-through, unobstructed.
John, I also noticed that you do a pass-through on even to the sides as well.
Yeah.
So if this was a 40, for example, would you have pass-through going that way as well?
Yes.
Like on the other compartment?
Like I said, from here forward, it's always the same. So you're going to see the same pass-through into the side compartment on the 40, on the 36. It's always the same. The added space is just empty in the middle. So there's still a generous compartment here, and again, you get this 31 inches of space.
So much room. Right, if you're an outdoor enthusiast and you have gear, this fits all of that.
Yep,
Yeah, not trying to be funny, but a kayak could definitely fit in there, right? I mean, that's huge.
a shorter one.
Okay.
Small one. Skis for sure.
Skis, not a problem. Okay, why don't we go to the other side and put the awning out so you can get a feel for how big your patio would be.
Yeah.
While
On a
you're
nice
relaxing
day.
out there with your TV and your induction cooktop,
Yeah, you're cooking, watching TV.
having a grand old time.
Wow.
Cool.
So again, I'm doing it from my mobile device. I can bring it out. It does have wind sensors. It's got the light to light up in the evening. And it has a 12-foot extension. So you'll also see that when this awning comes out, it has a secondary bend. So we've got the awning out. You can see this generous area, but let's move the slide out just so we take a look at it with the slide out in position. And we still have a very generous patio area.
Oh, yeah.
And there we are.
Oh, yeah, still so much room.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't impede the TV at all, nothing like that.
No.
Yeah, this is great. A great amount of space.
Well, John, thank you so much for showing us this incredible coach.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of it, but I need to recognize the entire Winnebago team, whether it's the engineering team, interior styling, exterior styling and design, purchasing. Everybody at Winnebago has had a hand in this product, and I was very proud to come and describe it, show it to you. It's been a wonderful experience, so thank you very much.
It's a team effort and it definitely shows. And if you want to learn more about the journey or any of other Winnebago products, visit winnebago.com.
Thanks for watching.